Hello there, how's it going? This is the second video on for loop, and in this one we are going to talk about indentation errors. So when we are creating for loop, in order to put code inside the for loop, we use indentation. The spaces on the left are called indentation, and if you mess up the spaces, you will get unexpected results. That's what we call indentation errors. So let me take a screenshot of my code and put it on the whiteboard so I can explain a little more about it. So let me paste it and let me zoom a little bit. So this is our for loop. So our for loop has two parts. The first is the header. Let me create a straight line. The first is the header. This is where we define our for loop, and then we have the body. In order to put code in the body, the code that will be repeated, we have to indent it. Right now we have indented two lines. We indent the code using the tab key on our keyboard, and if there was a single line, only a single line will be repeated. Right now there are two lines. These are what we call indentation. And as you can see, the last print, thank you everyone, that was a great magic show, it is not indented. So it is not in our for loop. It will be run only once, not in the for loop. That's the most basic idea. Now I'm going to get back to our code editor and show you what happens when we mess our indentation. So for example, if I forget to add my second line, you can expect what would happen. It will only repeat the first line, so that's in the for loop, but in the second one, it will only run once after the for loop has finished. So let's run it. Python magicians.py. So let me remove that hello from the top. Alice, that was a great trick. David, that was a great trick. Carolina, and so on. But now we just saw, I can't wait to see your next trick, Carolina, because magician takes one item from the list one at a time, and in the end it will have Carolina. So we got Carolina at the end. Now we got thank you everyone. That was a great magic show from this line. Another error you could have is adding too many lines in your code that you do not want, and empty lines, they are ignored by Python. You can have as many empty lines as you want, it doesn't matter at all. So this code is same as this code. So it doesn't matter how many empty lines you have, indentation is what matters. So Python magicians.py again. Now we are saying thank you everyone every time in our loop here. Thank you everyone, and thank you everyone, and thank you everyone. So you might make this kind of mistakes, adding code in your for loop that you don't want. So it's very important to keep a look at your indentation. And the last error is maybe forgetting to indent any line. Now in this case, Python will not actually let you run your code. So let me show you. Python will say you cannot have an empty for loop. That makes no sense. What's the point of an empty for loop? If you don't want a for loop, then just remove it. But if you want a for loop, then add some code in it. Now we got an indentation error. It's saying that now let's read it. Expected an indented block after the for statement on line 5. So line 5, we have our for loop, and after that we do not have any indented lines, so add the lines back. So that's about indentation error. The last thing I didn't touch upon is colon. Now colon is very important part of for loop. If you forget to add it, you will again get an error. This time you'll get a syntax error. Python magicians.py. Syntax error, colon is very important. Now this is it for this video. I hope indentation errors make sense. And in the next chapter, we are going to talk about if statements, and inside if statements, we are going to use indentation as well. So it's a good idea to get comfortable with indentation so you don't mess up your code. So this is it for this video. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.